Hello, everyone. My name is Tim Holder, and I'm Director of Engagement for the Church of England in Suffolk. We're here to talk to you today about our new learning and resource hub called Insight. And I'm joined by two members of my team. If you'd like to introduce yourselves.
So my name's Leonie Ryle and I'm the communications manager for the diocese, and I've been working with Leslie Steed.
Hello, that's me. I'm the Insight Content Manager.
Excellent. Leonie, just give me a bit of background on how this all came about and what we're hoping to achieve.
So it actually started as a project a couple of years ago. We started working with a company called Creative Stream, who develop online platforms for learning and resources. And we were lucky enough to have some funding provided by the National Church to fund the project. So we started working in those early days, and we were putting together plans alongside working with, I think at the time, 5 different dioceses. So we were all on a journey together to develop learning platforms for the Church of England.
In terms of the benefit of Insight, just hone down a little bit more what the sorts of things we hope to achieve and what people can actually get from joining the Insight Hub.
We're hoping that it has made finding content much easier. That's one of the main benefits, but also really giving clear pathways to find resources, but also events, training, and learning programs.
So, Leslie, sorry, you've been sitting there very quietly and patiently and looking very studious in your office there. Can you just give me a little bit of the point of view from the mission team and how you think that's going to work with them? Obviously, this is a benefit to all sorts of people, but specifically for that target audience, what is there on there that will be helpful?
There are all sorts of things. There are lots of courses that people can go on, whether or not they're just interested in something like the Bible. Perhaps they just want to look deeper into that, right up to training people for licensed and commissioned and ordained ministries. So there's a wide range of information on there. There are also resources. So if you're interested in parish giving or a contactless device, that's all on there. If you are already a member of a ministry, for example, you're a vicar, you can find more information out about study leave or grants available to you. So it's a really wide range of things.
But the good news is that I think we've got nearly 1,000 people already using it, which is fantastic. And we can see from the stats that we have that people are going in and exploring and then going for something perhaps that they want in the first instance, but then coming back and having a look at all the other benefits, which is exactly what we wanted.
So we're going to look at registration first, and Tim hasn't registered. So Tim, would you like to register by clicking register on the right-hand side there?
Right, okay, so I'm clicking the word register and then I see a circle coming up that's a spool that shows that it's all good and it's moved me through. And then we've got the email address. So I'll just enter my Church of England email address there.
Now,
And
it's worth mentioning at that point that we need you to use the email address that you receive e-news on, or that you've used for our database, the CMS database. If you receive e-news and you use your e-news email address, it will link up with all our databases across the diocese, and it will just make things easier for you going forward. So Tim's obviously used his C of E suffolk.org address.
I've got my email address and then my first name and my last name. And then it's asking me to create a password. Anything specific about the password that we need to know?
Now, Tim, you need to look for your role. So you are actually a DBF staff member, so you can tick the box.
Right, okay, done that.
Now, at this stage, you can tick the boxes that you think that you are, and if you haven't got a role in the Church of England, you can still tick the box congregation member or a PCC member, or you might be a minister from another diocese or a PCC member from another diocese, or you might just be somebody from the member of public. So you can choose the item that is best for you. If there's any differences between the data that we hold for you, then Leslie would get in touch with you and make sure that we've got all our roles corresponding and connected correctly across all our databases. If you're a clergy member who also happens to be a DBF member of staff, for example, that we do have a few like that, or if you are
Parish safeguarding officer.
yes, we might have multiple roles, and you're quite happy to tick more than one box.
Okay, fine. So I'm going to tick just the one box And I'm then going to go, I think, to the create account and create that, processing that little spool going around again. And then it's redirecting, create. Welcome, I'm in. So now I'm logged in and I'm on the welcome page, and I can tell that it's me because it says, "Hi, Tim Holder," right at the top next to log out. So what happens next?
So one of the things you would have received now is a confirmation email saying that you've registered as well, just to make sure you've got that through your inbox. But one of the handiest things I personally find when looking for things on Insight is to get straight to the homepage. And to get to the homepage really quickly, you can click on that Insight logo at the top left.
Okay, so
this is the Insight homepage, and I think it's best place to start when you're first new to Insight to explore content. So if you scroll down a little bit, Tim, you can see all
would
our
you like to-
themes. And if you scroll down a bit more, you'll see the last few.
Yeah. Safeguarding, important there. Parish support, vocations, schools.
So each one of these themes is divided into subcategories. So if you'd like to choose one, what area are you most interested in?
Shall we do everyday faith? Okay, so we're in everyday faith. Oh, we've got some more here.
And now you can see that this is divided into subcategories. In this case, discipleship, explore the Bible, spirituality, prayer. It also gives you, if you scroll down,
Yep.
all the content to do with everyday faith. And there it all is. And there's lots of it.
Oh, you moved so much stuff over. Brilliant. Brilliant.
Top left, we can see this highlighted sort by newest with a tick box. But you can also change that and sort by A to Z. You could also sort by popularity, which is obviously in the next one down. Just give it
Greatest hits of Insight. Excellent. Very good.
Or you can select the relevant content that you might be interested in. So if you go up to a subcategory at the top, you might choose to sort by music and worship, for example, which is just below there.
So we've got all these subcategories here. Let's have a look at those, shall we? So have a look at music and worship, shall we? Right, so what have we got here? Okay. Wow. So
there are different ways of searching things. Now, another way you can search for content is over on the left-hand side, you might see the word select a tag. Leslie and I have put in already lots and lots of words, and they're all alphabetical, of what things we think you might want to search by. You can choose a tag that you might want to search by and see what comes up. So if you choose...
Should we go growing in? Let's go growing in God. So each thing you load up, you add tags to it, so it's much easier to just find the sort of thing you're looking for. That's
searching through the themes and the subcategories, but you may like to search through this option here, which says, what would you like to explore, which is the main search bar. If you just scroll down a little bit, and you could put a word in here, Tim, which you may choose to search for.
So parish share, let's have a look at that. Spooling, there we go. Basic, faith stories, leading your church in growth. All the new documents we've done on parish share. So
we've got quite a few on that list, and there's 2 pages of content there. So it's quite a lot to sift through. So you can use the sidebar menu where can you see where, and if you're searching for an event or a course or a download or a link or a video, you can click each one of those and it will only bring up those options. So if you search for a event, Tim, for example, and that is that little tent symbol that you've noticed.
Oh yeah, there we go. So every event is like a little tent. Brilliant. Courses.
So now you've got events and courses.
Yeah. So if I remove events, then I've just got courses. Yeah, there we go.
It's a quick way of finding the content from a very long list using that sidebar.
So flexible, really, really good.
So one thing I think it's important to mention at this stage is everybody's screen is different. It will look different if you're using a mobile phone. It will look different if you're using a tablet. The difference really lies in the menu, which is the contact us, the learning and resources and calendar. The smaller your screen, the more that menu gets condensed. Okay, so the menu might appear differently, and it's flexible to show it in a different way. So at the moment, Tim's screen is showing it across the banner at the top there with the words Learning Resources Calendar and My Learning Plan. But if the screen's smaller, it automatically changes to this little, it's called a hamburger, this little icon on the right hand side, which is 3 lines. If you click on that, you get the exact same menu. So in this instance, Tim, I think it'd be quite handy if we have a look at the calendar.
I'll click on the hamburger because I'm on a phone probably when I'm doing this, and click on calendar. And there it is.
And there it is. So all the events and courses that we are hosting on this system will be on the calendar. This includes all the safeguarding courses. If there's more than one, it says +1 or +2. So it's another quick way of finding content. If you know the date it's on, you can find it quickly through this calendar.
Okay.
Right, so Tim, I know that you want to book the Generous Church conference in May. So if you click forward to May,
Okay, so I've
it's
got
on the
those arrows.
17th.
Yeah, got these little arrows next to the month. There I am in May. If I scroll down, I can see the month, 17th, building a generous church. Okay, so I click on that and I land on this page, which tells me, oh, all about the event, who's speaking, the workshop sessions, all the detail. But I can also see that it says here on the left-hand side when it's happening, and then that register button. So I'm assuming I click on the register button.
Yes, please.
And then we've got some different areas. So which church do you attend? God, this is going to be a long list. So I need to scroll down. So if I just do that lower downward arrow on my keyboard, then that will just scroll me down. Is that right? Yeah.
Yes.
Bentley St. Mary. And then what is your primary church role? So it gives you everything you could have. So let's have a look. Great. So we can see the mix of people who are coming. I will put other. Do I have any special dietary requirements? No, I don't. If yes, give details. That's already useful, isn't it? Do you need a disabled parking space? No, I don't. Do you have accessibility issues? No, I don't.
So in this particular event, there's different sessions for workshops, and you can choose, in this case, the one you want to attend. But as we're demonstrating this, Tim, if you could just choose some for each.
Yeah. So
each
how the parish giving scheme can help. This is my session 1 choice. Navigate grants and funding. Lots of great subjects here. How to plan a finance strategy. And then submit. I'm at the basket. We're all familiar with this if we do online shopping. This is our shopping basket of the things we've chosen. All really clear.
If you scroll down a bit more, you can proceed to checkout. Now, most of our events and courses are free, but some of them do have costs attached. So the facility to take bookings for paid for events is included in the system.
Even though this is free, I need to put my name in again here. And then place my order.
At this point, you'll get a confirmation email, and you will also receive updates and reminders as we get nearer to the 17th of May. So we now want to demonstrate what else Insight does, rather than just finding resources and booking events and training. It also has a record of everything you've downloaded and booked and done, and it's called My Learning Plan. So if you scroll to the top and your hamburger on the right hand side, you will find something called My Learning Plan. There it is. So this is completely personalized to you. It's where you can find things we've recommended for you, and it's where you can edit your details. It's where you can choose topics that are interested in, that you want to follow. So you can tick as many of these themes and subcategories that you wish. You can apply yourself a score on how you think you might how well you know that subject. So if you think you're 50-50, it's number 5. And you might come back in a year's time and think, actually, I've improved now, and you can change your own scoring.
Go up and down. So I'm a beginner.
I'm an expert.
I know loads. Yeah.
So you can do this for the content that you're interested in, and then the recommended for me bar will pick out the content that you've already selected. Then this is your learning plan. You can see here anything that you've bookmarked and any courses you've enrolled in, and you have booked in already, as we've just demonstrated. The My Event is you have registered for Building a Generous Church.
Right.
So this is really good because it holds all the information, things that you've downloaded, things that you've booked in for. It's a good place to come to remind yourself what you're involved in. You may have booked a course, you may have booked an event, you may have downloaded the resources, and this is where they will be held for you.
Tim, just try clicking on recommended for me at the top. So you've done all that ticking.
Yep.
And now if you click that, and these are all the things that, based on what you've just selected, these are all the things that we think you might be interested in.
Brilliant.
And then if you go back to the previous page, right, so from here, if you go down to the event you've just booked, so keep scrolling down.
Yeah.
And you'll see a little placeholder.
So you can see here, Tim, that you've booked the Generous Church conference. You can cancel if you need to by clicking on cancel place, but we won't do that now. If you click on that event, it does just have a little reminder in the blue banner at the top saying thank you for registering and any useful information that you need. It sits alongside the email that you would have received.
Really nice. Where you can park, who to get in contact with if you've got blue badge. Yeah, brilliant. Really helpful.
So the last thing I wanted to show you was the compulsory training. And as you can see, this gives you what training you should complete. If you've already done this training, it will say, I've done the training, you're up to date, and it will give you your renewal dates for when you need to do it again.
But the useful thing about this is that it uses your CMS record and the role that you've put in that you say you have, and it looks at what safeguarding training you should have done. It gives you this handy list of training courses that you can do. And if you click on view training, it'll take you directly to a place that you can book.
So choose a course that you might like to do, Tim.
Click on one of these. Onto that. There you go. Moved you over. Okay, there you go.
And now you can book.
Oh,